Welcome to part 3 in the series. Now we are going to discuss the duties and expectations for principal designers, contractors and principal contractors for CDM related projects. Let's start with the principal designers, commonly referred to as the PD. Firstly, they have to plan and manage and coordinate the whole of the pre-construction phase. This includes from the initial subsequent revisions and all the way through to the start of the construction. Additionally, they have to be aware of all health and safety issues during the design phase. This includes any health and safety goals for the project. They must also ensure that the project is carried out without risks to health or safety. The principal designer is responsible for the production of the pre-construction information, known as the PCI. They must provide assistance to the client in the PCI preparation. The PCI does not have to be a physical document, but it may be a set of information, plans, drawings, documents that together make up the pre-construction information. The principal designer must look at foreseeable risks, identify them and eliminate or control the foreseeable risks to any person involved in the construction of the project. The principal designer should be cooperating with all persons involved in the project. This includes other designers, principal contractor and clients alike. This also means cooperating with persons on adjoining sites. The aim is to enable others to carry out their CDM related duties. They should also ensure other designers' compliance on the project. That means with their duties and to eliminate and reduce risk and provide information to others. It is also the duty of the principal designer to prepare the health and safety file for the project. If there is already a health and safety file available, they should be revising it accordingly. The principal designer is also responsible for the provision of the pre-construction information, and provision of this information needs to be provided in a convenient form to other designers and contractors that are working on the project. And finally, the principal designer needs to liaise with the principal contractor. For example, information the principal contractor may need to prepare his construction phase plan. Now we shall look at contractors. These are the other tradesmen or organisations employed on the project. Each contractor needs to plan and manage and monitor the way the construction is handled on site. The project needs to be carried out without risks to health or safety for those involved. If there is no principal contractor involved, it is the job of the contractor to draw up the construction phase plan as soon as is practicable prior to setting up the construction site. Where appointed, they need to ensure the necessary information, instruction and training is received and it's appropriate. Additionally, there needs to be supervision on site to enable compliance for all workers. The contractor needs to provide workers with any information and instruction so that construction work can be carried out without risk, and if not already provided by the principal contractor, there is also a requirement to provide site induction for anyone who will access the construction site. The contractor must ensure procedures on site are followed in the event of any serious and imminent danger to health and safety, and risk information needs to be provided in matters identified by any risk assessments that have been carried out. In regard to training, it is the duty of the contractor to provide employees with any health and safety training that is required, and a contractor must not commence work in relation to any project unless they are completely satisfied that the client is aware of their duties, and this would need to be recorded. A contractor must not begin any work on site until reasonable steps have been taken to prevent unauthorised access to the site ensure welfare provision complies throughout the construction phase, and ensure compliance with all directions and rules provided by the principal contractor. And they must also ensure that all their staff are aware of their duties in regard to this. Now we shall discuss the principal contractor. Many of the duties are similar to the contractor, but there are more detail and responsibility. Again, the principal contractor must plan, manage, monitor the work throughout the construction phase and take account to the general principles of prevention during the whole works. Once again, the project needs to be carried out without risk to health and safety for those involved, and the principal contractor is responsible for drawing up the construction phase plan, known as the CPP, as soon as is practical prior to the setting up of the construction site. This construction phase plan must be reviewed and updated and revised so it continues to be sufficient for the works. The principal contractor is responsible for the coordination and implementation of all the relevant legal requirements to ensure that all those involved in the project apply the general principles of prevention and that there is consistency throughout. The principal contractor needs to be cooperating with others and any other person at the site or an adjoining site to enable others to perform their CDM related duties. Where appointed, ensure that the necessary information and instruction and training received is appropriate and the supervision is provided to enable everyone to comply with their duties. It is also the duty of the principal contractor to draw up site rules so that everybody is aware of the dangers and limitations on site. The principal contractor must ensure that the welfare facilities comply and that they are fit for purpose, and this must be done throughout the whole of the construction phase. In addition, they must liaise with the principal designer for the duration of the project, and also particularly regarding any information which is needed to prepare the health and safety file, or that may affect the planning and management of the pre-construction phase. The health and safety file needs to be appropriately updated and reviewed and revised from time to time. The principal contractor must provide site induction and prevent unauthorized access to the site. And he needs to consider workforce cooperation, and there need to be arrangements in place which enable the principal contractor and his workers to cooperate effectively in promoting and developing measures to ensure health and safety at work and checking its effectiveness. The principal contractor must consult with the workers in good time on matters connected with the project, which may affect the health, safety or welfare of all employees. Workforce communication ensures workers can inspect and take copies of certain documentation, so measures can need to be in place to facilitate this requirement.